There is this particular town in the States where every month vampires would go around the neighborhood sucking everyone's blood. And you know what's the worst part? The police are all in on it. If you tell the police about it, not only do they allow the vampires to continue sucking your blood, but if you try to run away, the police will send you to jail. The citizens have no choice but to let their blood be slowly but surely drained away. This is of course a made-up metaphor for what I'm about to share today. I am talking about debt. Debt for most people is an evil vampire. It sucks money away from your bank account every month. And if you refuse to pay, the legal system will bankrupt you and put you behind bars. This is exactly the reason why I highly recommend most of you to pay it off, especially the bad debts. But did you know we need to differentiate the kind of debt we are facing? We need to differentiate them between the good ones and the bad ones. Just imagine, right now, you need extra cash to buy groceries. Your bank account is zero and your payday is just 3 days away. What do? You walk around town and suddenly you see a shop with a reputable bank logo on it. On that shop, you see them offering something called payday loan. In this shop, they promise to immediately loan you the money that you desperately need. Problem solved, right? First up, I'd like to talk about payday loans. Payday loans are also known as cash advances. Do not be fooled by their convenience. They often come with interest rates as high as 300%. Because this is crazy interest rate, they are the worst of the worst. They are designed to be short-term, small amount loans, meant to be repaid with your next paycheck. Some of you may not have heard of them before. That's because in some countries and states, they are actually illegal. The bottom line is that never ever use payday loan, no matter how desperate you are. Plan your finances well in advance so you will never be stuck in such a dreadful situation. Look at your credit card statement. How much do you owe to the bank? I hope the answer is zero. The average American household debt is $5,315. Credit card debt are bad debt. The reason is because their interest rate is insanely high. It ranges between 15 to 25% APR. That means if you borrow $100, you need to return $124 the next year. When you receive the invoice, do not be fooled by the minimum repayment in your credit card bill. The 24% interest rate will still run in the background. Because the interest rate is so high, my suggestion is to pay off your credit card debts immediately before the interest sucks you dry. Next up, let us talk about debts that are good. These are debts that you can keep and do not need to repay too fast. In general, the lower the interest rates, the better. For example, if you are able to borrow at 1%, instead of paying the debt, you can use the money and invest it into the stock market for maybe a 6% return. Your cost of borrowing is 1%, your return is 6%. In this example, you make a nice 5% return. However, I have two caveats here. Firstly, if you do not know how to invest or if you are unwilling to take any risk to invest, your returns will be 0% and you'll be better off fully paying off the debt if the interest on the debt is above inflation. Secondly, borrowing money to invest is leveraging. As you know, leveraging is a double-edged sword. Did you know that when you invest in the stock market, the companies are usually already borrowing money and internally leveraged? Just look at their balance sheet under the long-term liability section and you'll see it all there. If you too borrow money to invest, you are adding on to the leverage. The stock market is already as risky as it is. If you do not know what you are doing, I do not recommend leveraging or borrowing money to invest at all. With that, let's move on to the good debt. Do you own a car? How much did you borrow to buy that car? Chances are that you probably took a loan to finance it. Let's talk about auto loans. These are around 4 to 20% APR depending on your credit score and down payment. The more down payment you put in, the lower the rates are. This is because your car is being used as a loan collateral. If you own more equity in your car, the bank sees this as lower risk and is willing to offer a lower rate. Having good credit rating helps to lower the interest rates too. This is again because the better your credit rating is, the lesser default risk you have to the bank. And the bank is willing to offer a lower rate. It isn't too bad if you have good credit score and are in the 4% range. If you are able to borrow at around 4%, I will consider car loan a good debt that you can keep. But if you need to pay anything more than 6%, please reconsider paying it off. Did you recently graduate from university? The average debt for a bachelor's degree is around $37,000. How did you pay for your tuition fees? Did you work part-time or simply took out a student loan and deal with it later after graduation? In the US, 14% of adults are still carrying student loan debt. There's a good chance that you might have some student loan debts. In the US, student loans are about 4% fixed for the undergraduate. These loans are usually provided by the federal government. Just like the car loan example, interest rates around 4% is manageable and quite alright. So I would consider this as good debt. Furthermore, right now, due to COVID-19 situation, your debt do not have any interest. This makes the loan even better. It's essentially free money for you, at least until September anyway. So if you have student loan debts, keep it. It's definitely a good debt, but be sure to budget such that you can pay it off eventually. Are you living in your own house or staying in a rented apartment? If you are staying in your own house, how did you pay for it? Chances are you probably have a mortgage loan for it. Mortgage loan is one of the main sources of debt held by Americans. The US mortgage industry is one of the largest in the world. In 2007, a burst bubble in the mortgage loan industry caused the infamous subprime mortgage crisis. A mortgage is a loan that the borrower uses to purchase or maintain a home or other form of real estate and agrees to pay back over time, typically in a series of regular payments. The property will serve as collateral to secure the loan. If the borrower does not pay the regular payments, the lender has the right to seize the house. The borrower may run away, but the house will definitely stay in the exact same location because houses do not have legs and cannot run away. Mortgage loans are considered low risk for the lender. Mortgage interest rates are around 2 to 3%. The rates are definitely low. That's why mortgage rates are the best debt to keep. As of August 2021, the US inflation is around 5.4%. That makes mortgage rates even more attractive because you are borrowing at, let's say, 3%, but your asset appreciates at least 5% due to inflation, and all you need to do is to own the house. In summary, there are good debts and bad debts. Bad debts are high interest rate loans like payday loans and credit cards. They can also be bad debts if you are paying high interest rates, perhaps due to your credit rating. Good debts are low interest rate loans like mortgage and student loans. You can stretch them out as much as you like and take advantage of the liquidity to do investment. Agree or disagree with the video? Subscribe, leave a like and comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.